Story 1. The Phantom Funeral Procession. This happened to me several years back. I used to head to work real early, around 5:45 in the morning, since my shift started at 7. I worked at the Dickies plant, and my folks' house was on the edge of town, near the cemetery neighborhood. As I was walking down the street by the cemetery, I noticed a group of people making their way toward it. What caught my eye was this old wooden cart with wooden wheels, the kind that makes a loud clacking noise on the unpaved road. And sure enough, sitting on that cart was a coffin. A burial at this hour? I thought to myself, but kept walking. I didn't cross their path. I walked alongside them and realized it wasn't a big group at all. Nobody was talking. Nobody was making a sound. The women had their faces covered with black veils and shawls, and the men wore hats, staring straight ahead like zombies. I got chills, something fierce, when they passed. Out of curiosity, I turned around to watch them, still walking toward the cemetery. I took a few more steps, turned around again, and they were gone. Not a soul in sight. No cart noise, nothing. Just silence. I was spooked bad. There was no way they could have disappeared that fast. I practically ran the rest of the way to work. That night, I told my mom, and she said, "Honey, nobody gets buried at that hour, and nobody uses carts like that anymore." What I saw that morning was most likely a phantom funeral procession. Thankfully, I never saw anything like it again, even though I walked that same route for years. Story 2. The Night Shift. Good evening. My name is Pedro, and I want to share something that happened to me on the job. I work for a transportation company that handles personnel for a big industrial port. Everything was going smooth when I was on the day shift as a dispatch coordinator. But then they switched me to nights, 5:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. I had never worked nights in my life. On my first day, my coworkers warned me that things get weird after dark. What they didn't know is that I have a gift, if you can call it that. I can see people who have passed away. By 2 a.m. things slow way down. Here's the thing though, none of the other 5 guys stayed in the office with me. All 5 of them went and slept together in one of the vans outside. I stayed alone in the office and didn't see anything unusual that night. At dawn, they asked me, "So, how'd it go? See anything creepy?" I told them honestly, nothing. But a few nights later, everything changed. Alone in the office again, I spotted through the window the silhouette of a woman drifting past, then watched her move toward the van where my coworkers were sleeping. One night, a day shift coworker got stuck late and asked to crash in the office. He had no idea about any of this. Around 3:33 a.m., I heard noises and saw a dark figure moving toward where he was sleeping. My first thought was that one of the other guys was trying to scare him. But then I felt a chill shoot from the back of my neck all the way down to my feet. "Hey, what do you want?" I shouted. The figure spun around and instantly transformed into a massive cat and leaped straight out the window. Not too long ago, they gave us a brand new office with all the comforts. First night, everyone stayed. By morning, all of them had nightmares and reported seeing shadows. 3 weeks in, they're still sleeping in the van. I've tried communicating with whatever's in there, but I haven't gotten any response. I know I see them. I just can't hear them. Most recently, I stopped by my mom's place. She just had surgery, and my sister is taking care of her. My sister's father-in-law walked past from the bedroom toward the bathroom. I almost called out to say hi. Then I remembered. He passed away a year and a half ago. He walked by twice, smiling and waving at me like it was the most normal thing in the world. Maybe this isn't your typical scary story, but I'll tell you this. Not everyone can see them. Story 3. The Winged Shadow. There have long been reports in certain rural areas of something strange spotted near radio towers, electrical towers, and tall structures. A massive winged creature with a human-like body. Long legs, arms that doubled as enormous wings, circling the night sky. Truckers, night workers, and locals reported encounters. Some called it a gargoyle. Others said it was a shapeshifter or a dark sorcerer taking animal form. A few tried to rationalize it as a rare exotic bird escaped from some rich guy's private collection. One account stands out. A farmhand was walking home late after spending his paycheck. No money left for a cab, so he went on foot down a long rural road. Near a transmission tower, he noticed something huge perched above, bigger than any vulture, with wings that stretched wide and a body that was unmistakably human. He picked up the pace. At the town plaza, he sat down to catch his breath and sober up, then kept walking, past the military grounds, until he reached a large tree near the old cemetery. The shadow was there again, this time clearly visible against the night sky. 2 long legs, 2 arms with enormous wings. He ran all the way down the highway until he spotted a military checkpoint, where he told the soldiers everything. They didn't believe him, blamed it on alcohol. But the folks who live near that road, they say that to this day, on quiet nights, they still hear strange screeching and the heavy beating of enormous wings passing overhead. Would you dare go out there after dark? Story 4. The Room That Breathed. Growing up, my mom's house had a guest room that was basically used as storage from the day it was built. About 10 years ago, we started noticing a smell. Rotten, putrid, like spoiled meat or dead fish, sharp and suffocating. We searched everywhere for the source and found absolutely nothing. The door to that room opened directly into the study where we did homework. It never stayed shut. Something about the way it was hung made it always drift open. And every single time we were in that study, we couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching us from the darkness of that room. A friend of mine, someone who claimed to be sensitive to this kind of thing, came over one day. We were on the computer when, without me saying a word, he started glancing toward that room. More and more. Until finally I asked, "You feel it, don't you?" "Yeah," he said. "Someone's watching, and they're not friendly." I slept in that room once, lying there trying to fall asleep. I heard my own breathing, echoing back at me. I thought it was funny at first, so I held my breath. The echo kept going. I was too exhausted to leave, so I just slept through it. We eventually cleaned the room completely, took everything out, repainted the walls, inspected every inch. The smell stayed. No source. Ever. Eventually, a spiritual healer came through the house. We didn't tell her which room was the problem. She found it on her own. During a session in that room, she said there were 2 presences. One deeply negative, and one that felt protective, which we believed might have been a late aunt of ours watching over the family. She performed a cleansing. We then had a priest come bless the house. After that, The smell was gone. The feeling of being watched, gone. In its place, an overwhelming sense of peace settled into that room. My mom eventually turned it into a little home chapel. That chapter is behind us now. But it's one I'll never forget.